Hi guys, welcome to Fanaan. We're going to be entertaining thoughts and creativity, and today we're here with Asad.
Hello, my name is Asad and I'm a cook from Karachi. I do many other things also, which you will find out as we speak. And yeah, glad to be here.
I want to ask, was there a dish or experience that made you fall in love with cooking?
When I was really young, I think this is when I was like 8, 9 years old.
Okay.
In the summer holidays,
Hmm.
we'd stay up late because there's summer holiday. Kya
Same.
karna? Now it's truly gonna sound like I'm old. खाने की delivery का कोई scene नहीं होता था. So there was no food delivery scene. You couldn't like order food. So I'd go downstairs and make this really gnarly sandwich
Okay.
with like just white bread, cucumbers, ketchup. I know some people are gonna say it's gross. Ketchup and chaat masala.
No way.
So at the end of the day, you have to nourish yourself, right?
Hmm.
Maybe white bread and fine. If you kind of translate the sandwich now, it's like this iconic cucumber chutney sandwich that you have in white bread. You know that ideal high tea sandwich with the butter, the green chutney, cucumbers.
I completely get it. Yeah.
So I guess that was the vibe,
Okay.
but with ketchup.
But, that's actually really funny that you mentioned it. I feel like everyone has that one very simple comfort meal,
Yeah.
just like Maggi noodles or
Yeah.
like just like even
Just rice, boiled rice with butter
Boiled
or
rice,
soy
yeah.
sauce. I feel like there was no, I don't know, like eureka moment or
Okay.
defining moment for me. It was more along the lines of after A levels,
Okay.
I didn't know what to do with myself. So
Valid.
I kind of gravitated towards something that made sense to me,
Hmm.
and that was cooking. So I applied for culinary school and I took the leap of faith. It wasn't easy. I mean,
Yeah.
this is back in 2011.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna mention.
Yeah, there were some people even in my family. They'd like come up to me and they'd be like, "Dude, why are you doing this? Why are you wasting your life?" And I'd say, "I don't know." And I'd be, "Dude, what do you expect? You expect to throw shade at a kid like this?"
Literally.
And then you're
about something they're passionate about.
yeah, or they're figuring it out. I mean,
Yeah.
it's okay. Even if I messed up
Yeah.
royally, I
Literally.
mean that would be okay too, right? I still took a leap of faith on myself.
Took a lot of courage, I suppose.
I don't know. Like I told you, I didn't know what else to do. So
Yeah.
that was the only thing that made sense, and I just followed my gut. I'm very certain about what I want to achieve, but there are some things which are more open, and
Yeah.
if you allow yourself to be present in the moment and have faith and trust the process, things that are even beyond your control, things that you can't even fathom,
Yeah.
will appear, and you will just be as amazed as, let's say, any surprise.
That's amazing. That's actually so inspirational, especially for aspiring chefs out there.
And I guess for aspiring chefs, सोच लो एक और दफा. I mean, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's
tough
not
out there.
easy.
It's not easy out
it's
there.
tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Ask what you believe is your signature style and your philosophy with culinary.
It's one of those pet peeves for a chef. Like, आपकी signature dish क्या है? आप अपनी
way.
signature dish बताएं. Like, how can I encapsulate my feelings
Yeah.
and work into one signature dish? Right now, my
signature philosophy.
yeah.
versus
So
philosophy.
the
Yeah.
philosophy is to cook things following the cues of the season.
Okay.
Whatever is in season, whatever is the space here and now, is on the plate. That is my philosophy
That's
when I
really
want to
good.
create a menu.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very grateful that I have like great guests that
Gotta trust your vibe.
trust me. And
Yeah.
there's some people who literally don't even ask any questions, and they're like, "Listen, do your thing." Essentially, fine, it is passion, whatever it
Yeah.
is, but it is a business that I run, and it's my own business, and I am at the center of it.
Yeah.
It's my bread and butter. So at the face of it is just like a culinary retreat, or is just something, but for me, it's like Excel sheets worth of prep lists.
Yeah.
What needs to be done, what needs to be done when,
Yeah.
what needs to be procured.
The fact that you were describing it so passionately, it does feel like an art performance, like even when the dishes come, like most of the time we don't take pictures of our food
Yeah.
first,
Yeah.
it's like the way it looks, the way it feels,
Yeah.
and essentially we are appreciating art,
Yeah.
and again, like being watched is it's so daunting
Yeah.
when you're trying to create
It's a
an art
fleeting
piece.
form of art, right?
Yeah,
Because
it
you
is.
create something from you forge natural ingredients
Yeah.
and create something. In that moment, it is beautiful to look at, and the next, it is eaten by somebody.
In the retreats that you had, I've been looking at them and I feel like they're very cool. Like the
Yeah.
light situation when you're just saying it, it's like it makes me want to go to that retreat.
That you might derive something from that trip that you, in your own profession or your own personal growth or whatever, because I try to create an open environment in which people can be themselves, of course, and it's just me curating experiences, creating meals, getting everybody around the table. All the people who join, they're crazy mad about food, and it's like that space where everybody's talking about food without feeling that they're being judged. So they'll be talking about these obscure foods or weird food combinations, and it's all welcome because I don't care. I want to hear everything. You have to meditate on some things to truly appreciate them. And food, a lot of people. I'm also slowly building this thing in which they're like, "Oh, yaar, itni der ho gayi, khana hamara order kiya hai. Oh, this tomato I'm eating, this was grown by somebody.
Yeah.
And now this tomato has grown, and it has been hand plucked by somebody. Then it arrived at the market. Okay. Then you get it from the ground or from the tree, or you get milk from the cows. You even meet the cows. You say hello to them. We make cheese from that milk. Lots of fun things we do.
Very interesting. Yeah. So for anyone who's looking into getting into these retreats, you can just hit Asad up and go to these retreats. They sound like crazy.
I really do want to make this into something, just want to keep it going.
Yeah, 100%.
And this kind of thing, I always wanted to do something like this because I feel कि हमें पाकिस्तान के बारे में ज़्यादा मालूमात नहीं है.
And now I want to get into the darker side of things. I want to ask that in high stake environments and in very high pressure environments, how do you kind of navigate through those?
Where I am today is also piggybacked on top of difficult experiences. And I've had my fair share of those, I feel. Again, like I said, that when you enter the kitchen environment, and when I entered the kitchen environment, I didn't want people to think that I was some punk who had studied culinary arts and is now coming in and just like telling us how to do our job or whatever. I need to earn my badges also. Yeah. Divide, just be there as yourself and who wants to learn, and I've had to work in places where I didn't want to work, and I had to work with people who I didn't want to work with, but I had to suck it up and do it. Because if I knew in the longer run, maybe at that time, little me knew that it's one of those things that you invest in yourself, that go do the difficult thing, have the hard experience, because it will pay off later. And even if it doesn't, you'll still know what you're not okay with or what you're okay with doing. It's a learning experience. It's a learning curve, exactly like you said.
Could you share like a few experiences that maybe kind of, maybe changed your view on it, or?
Man, if 5 years of my life, I was working 12 to 13 hour days, 6 days a week, with 1 day off, usually a Monday. Chefs have Mondays off. Okay. And I did this for 5 years non-stop. I kind of drove myself crazy. I burnt out, and that pivotal point of me burning out was in COVID. Takeout and delivery businesses were doing well in Karachi, and my team, and including myself, we were churning out orders at like crazy paces. We were doing, mental health was like plummeting, and I had to be rushed to the ER, and I got a real reality check there. Because I was like, what the hell are you doing? Like, you're destroying yourself and your body for what? What is it worth?
100%.
And then it was a real turning point for me. I was like, dude, I need to change things. Like, because no matter how hard I work, that doesn't translate to how good I work. Okay. Or how good of a chef I am, or how good of a person I am, or how good of hospitality I can do. None of that. I have to take care of myself first before I can nourish anybody else.
100%. So in this business, when you're also like there, and you learned from this very high stake environment that you were in during COVID, and I'm sure there were other high stake environments, but with this type of line of work, I would say that your reputation is everything, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
And you have to take care of that because it's also a lesson in kind of brand building. Like if you're into marketing and
100%,
stuff.
Yeah.
So it's about brand building, that you build a brand,
Yeah.
you build a certain attachment or association or a sentiment with a brand,
Yeah.
and then you execute. I wouldn't say, because I'm a more of a service based person.
Okay.
Like of course I would do products, like I would sell something, make something and sell it,
Yeah.
but I'm mostly like doing service and tourism
Yeah.
these days. So yeah, it's all about your reputation.
Yeah, like the
And-
branding. You are your brand essentially,
and how you interact with people, or how you are presenting yourself, or what kind of work ethic do you have.
100%.
And it makes a huge difference. And you know, it one of those integrity things that, and this is what kitchens actually teach you, that you have to have integrity. You over, like you forgave like a protocol.
Yeah.
You didn't clean something the way you should, you didn't store something the way you should, you didn't salt it correctly.
The smallest thing.
The smallest thing can, any like breach in protocol
Yeah.
can have somebody have a bad experience, which I'm not saying that they would have it immediately, but the next day if they get a bad stomach,
100%.
it's so much stress.
100%.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
really stressful.
And that could just be their stomach reacting differently.
Differently,
like,
but still, then again, like you have to be
It'll always
very careful
reflect,
about these
yeah.
things. And that's where integrity comes in. And this
Yeah.
is where, if you care about, at end of the day, again, वो कहते हैं ना कि पाकिस्तान में बहुत ही मेरे रोजी पे मैं हाथ रख के कहता हूँ or whatever. So it's that kind of importance, that if I don't show integrity with my work, all these things that I, be it respect,
Yeah.
be it goodwill, be it money, anything I earn through that might not be
legit. You, even. Most people just keep pushing and pushing themselves until they don't have much of themselves left, and
Yeah.
then it takes them a longer time.
Dude,
to
I didn't have much of
recover.
myself left. Like, after I came out of that 5-year stint in which I was doing this, for
Yeah.
a year I was just down in the pits. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was depressed.
Yeah.
My body was just going through these changes that I wasn't understanding. I went through like severe, intense therapy. And I mean, it was all essential. I wish I could have done all of that before that moment of crash and burn.
Yeah.
But you live and you learn.
You live and you learn, and I feel like that is that crash and that burn that kind of teaches you the severity
Yeah.
of like what you have been doing to yourself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
sometimes I feel
Snap out of it, you
yeah,
know?
like literally snap out of it. It's like a wake up call, like, you know, like
Yeah.
time to get up, you
Yeah.
know, be like.
Get your
take
shit
care of
together.
yourself.
Like, what are you
yeah,
doing?
Exactly. So it's kind of a darker question. I feel
Yeah.
like, a darker prompt. I feel like what I learned by the end of it was that you came out greater, in fact, you know, better than you were before.
No, I wouldn't say greater.
Yeah.
Greater, yeah, fine if you want to perceive it that way, but it's more of a, hey, am I okay with this? Am I not okay with this? I'm
Yeah.
listening to my body. Am I acting out of a trauma response to
Yeah.
something, or am I genuinely drawn to this?
Yeah,
Am I taking decisions out of fear,
yeah,
or am I doing it generally because of care and love and meaningful, like something meaningful?
yeah. 100%.
Because when you're younger, right, you say yes to everything, and that's
Yeah.
as you should.
Yeah,
A young person should say yes to everything so that they figure out what they want to say no to later.
yeah, 100%.
So
Yeah.
that's how it works.
Like the work that you put in, maybe at that point you were thinking, dude, this is really not worth it. As you said, for a year, you really needed to kind of, you know, reboot and
Yeah.
revamp and all. And that's very valid to take that space away and
Yeah.
do that. But
Yeah.
I feel like whenever I even hear your name, it's such a positive connotation, and everyone has had an amazing experience at Death's
That's-
Kitchen, and they'll always be like, oh my god, like, you know, Asad was
I'm-
great.
Yeah,
Like, he
I'm grateful
was
for that. Yeah, I
amazing.
mean, that is, I mean, that for me is, you could say that an achievement.
Yeah,
I feel like people, especially younger cooks who are
Yeah.
going through that phase in their life, they need to hear this.
they really need
And
to know.
they need to build community, because one thing that I had missing my entire life growing up as a cook, or I'm still like growing up, I'm still
Yeah.
like learning and adapting, is that I didn't have a mentor who could tell me that it's gonna be okay, man.
Yeah.
Like, fine, it's okay, I got you, or whatever. I now feel like I have to push myself to be that mentor to other like
Aspiring
chefs.
Yeah.
passion is not a walk in the park.
Yeah.
Passion is painful, and sometimes passion makes you question yourself. Like,
Yeah.
is it even worth it?
Honestly, aspiring chefs, you should really hear this out because passion is not always the answer.
It's not, and it
Yeah.
won't take you far. Passion is that jet fuel which will burn for a little bit, and
Yeah.
then you will have to be on regular fuel.
Low octane.
Yeah,
fuel or
low
something.
octane, yeah.
As you said, like sometimes there's no fuel, sometimes there's no passion. Do you personally ever get into a series of, not a series of, but like in a time phase of a very major creative block where you just don't feel motivated?
100%.
You think, I don't want to maybe do this.
100%. This started happening to me very recently because now I do work for brands also.
Yeah.
So I make, apart from cooking, I also make video content.
Yeah.
So now brands reach out to me and they're like, हमें ये चाहिए, वो चाहिए, ये बना दें, वो बना दें, इस तरह कर दें, इतने बना दें.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, like, I'm not some factory or a machine which is churning out creative ideas.
Content creation, you're expected to give that level of, like, you're expected to deliver to a very unrealistic standard,
Yeah.
you know, and essentially that's where the creative block could come in.
Creative block छोड़ो भी यार. Why would anybody want to connect with content which literally looks like it's been churned out of a factory?
100%.
It has to be personal. It has to be personal. You need to connect with your audience. Then again, like I hope, like I hope people don't think, yeah, this guy's sold out. Like, but
No,
I would,
is so
but I
funny.
don't want to sell out, and
Yeah.
sometimes I will sell out. Sorry, but I will sell out
Well, don't
sometimes,
you
which is
worry.
fine,
Yeah.
But I still want to give that respect or extend that respect to the people who bother and take out the time to follow my work,
Yeah.
so that I give them something that they feel like, yeah, that was nice, that was well thought out.
honestly, yeah.
You have good because
To appreciate,
bad exists,
yeah.
and bad exists so you can appreciate good.
100%. That's a great philosophy, and I
Yeah.
think that's great that you keep that so close to you. You
I
know?
try my best. Sometimes I have really terrible days, and
Yeah.
then you need to have that. You need to like let yourself be in that space in which you're having a bad time too.
100%.
So we're all human, yaar.
Yeah.
We're people
Take
at the
it
end of the
easy,
day,
yeah.
and it is what it is.
It is what it is, and you just gotta take it easy some days.
Yeah. Go to somebody who you care about.
Yeah.
Go to a friend or a colleague. It'll be like stretching it, but
Yeah.
a friend or somebody in your family who you can
Yeah.
like confide in.
Trust, and if you feel like you can't trust someone, always
Yeah, you
there's
can
always
go to
professional help.
go for therapy.
Yeah.
It helps.
I actually want to get a little up close and personal for our last prompt. And so, as you said, you would give back to the community in the way that you would mentor and you would give information as much as you could to kind of tell aspiring chefs, this is what's up. This is what's going on. I am this crazy mad scientist, let's say. I'm not, but like, let's say I was. I make this time machine, okay? And I sent you, like, I said that to 2015. I sent you back, like
To 2015.
To 2015. Now you come out and you see Asad in 2015, and what would you tell him in the sense that you could either help him or help aspiring Asads out there, to kind of just get a better grasp of where they want to go.
So should I describe what 2015 looks like for me a little bit?
If you want, for sure.
So 2015, just graduated from culinary school.
Amazing.
I am finishing my training at a restaurant in Toulouse, France. I'm sitting with my friends in our apartment. We just, after our graduation, we just had some sausages and like we made some food and with cheese and
charcuterie situation. Yeah.
Wine. But we're just like sitting around, we're just sharing a meal, and I guess in that moment it was funny and blissful. Okay, when you feel like, I've achieved something, but there is uncertainty.
Yeah.
And there was uncertainty because right after this celebration, I think a week and a half in, we were on our Euro trip because we were just finishing up everything. So graduation, so we were on I had saved up enough money throughout my training to just go on a very, very backpack Euro trip.
Yeah.
Like just like living in hostels and stuff.
That's fun.
Yeah, and but sadly my grandmother had passed away, and I had to rush back to Pakistan, and that's like the end of the journey. But I mean, it was sad, but it is what it is. And I guess in that moment, in that uncertainty again, I'll come back to that point in which I didn't know what to do, things around me, no mentors, nothing. I guess I tell myself some cliched shit, yeah. I would just say, just
believe in yourself.
yeah, why not?
Those
And
marks, that you
yeah,
believe
and
in
you know,
yourself.
all cliches are cliches because they have a drop of truth in them. Beginner's mindset, man. Like, you are not going to be great at something just the first day you started it.
Straight up, you can't be.
You can't be. Like,
Yeah.
even if it's like a year, 2 years, 3 years in, people in Japan are like, they make sushi, they spend 10 years making the rice, dude. I mean,
No way.
so what I'm saying is that to be like a master at your craft, you have to be like a stupid beginner.
100%.
And you need to cultivate that mentality in everything.
100%.
Because in any moment you can learn a new skill.
You could.
So you have to create that space to be stupid and find out.
That's what you would tell younger us, and that's what you would tell us.
Yeah, and I'd be
chefs
like,
out there.
don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Chill out, man.
You're fine.
Yeah,
You'll be fine. And breathe. Just take a breath, take a minute,
100%.
spend time in nature.
Yeah.
Spend a lot of time in nature, and
Go touch grass.
take a breath, and care for or spend time with the people who really matter to you, because everything else is temporary.
That's great advice, and I feel like aspiring chefs would take away some great.
I hope so. I don't know. Like, I've just been yapping, and
No, honestly, I feel like I learned so much about this whole culinary business, the whole culinary world, how you operated, and how much you pushed yourself to get even where you are today. It wasn't all roses and rainbows.
It's not. It was a bed of roses, but with the thorns attached. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for
It was
being
lovely.
here.
Honestly, it was fun.
I feel like we learned so many things about Asad. For anyone who does want to get in touch, I will be linking his Instagram. His Instagram is very entertaining, so 100% go follow him and support him. And if you ever do want any mentorship, come back to this podcast. Thank you so much, Asad.